Booyah, what's pop locking, y'all? Big Cool Boy, Robotic Puppets, West Coast Pop Lockers, down here at Cool Boys Boxing Camp and Dance Academy. And this is my YouTube channel where I allow pop lockers to come and express themselves. Talk about what happened, talk about how it went down, and talk about what you gonna do or what you did. You feel me? This is Cool Boys Pop Locking channel. Let's have some pop lock talk, y'all. Talk your shit. Booyah! On the dance floor, I like the... Booyah! What's pop locking, y'all? Big Cool Boy. And guess what? Another episode of Pop Lock Talk. And y'all know how I do. Y'all know how I do. I gotta get down. I gotta get down. Hey! That's that Tour de France. All pop lockers got down to this right here. Pop locker that got the most classic scene in the history of pop is getting down to this right here in the movie Breaker. Big shout out to Boogaloo Shrimp. In the movie he goes by Turbo, but on the streets we call him Shrimp. What's pop locking with y'all? How y'all feeling today? I'm feeling good. As long as I can see, I can breathe, the heart is beating, I'm good, huh? As long as I can bust, as long as I can pop lock. Oh, please don't take my pop lock away from me. Oh my. I'm back, y'all. My cast is on. For those who want to know, or for those who didn't know, I had broke my ankle back in August 16th. It's just now healing in December. God damn! And I'm still walking with a limp. Don't get it twisted though. And I can bust. And I can bust. Boom, 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 boom. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a dope show today. We're gonna have some pop lock talk, man, with the homeboy Damon Frost. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring him into the lobby. See if he can glue to this right here with us. This is a pop locker jam right here.
Ooh.
Damon Frost, what you know about this jam right here, homie?
A little bit.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I hear you, I hear it. Of course.
Hey, what happens, man, when you put this on right here?
Yeah, I catch some feelings, man. It's like I was already into the bicycles before Tour de France came out, so. How you doing, man? You good? Hey, let me know right quick. Which way? Is this better or is this better?
Oh, I like that one.
This the vertical one?
Right there.
Okay, let me try. I'm gonna try to fix this stand.
Okay, in the meanwhile, I'm a pop lock.
Okay. Let me see, how do I do this? We go like this, maybe.
We're about to have some pop lock talk. I hope you're ready, man. Because you got to tell it all, homie. You got to tell us all, everything.
I'll tell almost all. The names will be changed to protect the innocent. Let me see.
Damon Frost.
How about, let me see. Damn, I just broke my camera stand trying to be all flossy and stuff like 5 seconds before you called too. Okay, hold up. Let me
It's all
see.
good, brother. Take your time, get it together.
All right.
Hmm.
Let me see. How about? Let me see if this will work.
Hmm.
I go like this. Uh
I'm drinking me a smoothie.
oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me see. Maybe like this. Like this. Does that work?
There you go, brother. Look at that
All
studio
right.
back there, boy. You looking
Yeah.
like Stevie Wonder, Quincy Jones,
Hey, I'm trying. I'm
Dr.
trying.
Dre, DJ Quick, all in one. Uh-oh. Hold up now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Damon Frost, what you know about that funk, homie?
Once you get it, you got it, man.
Ooh,
It's
you
not like you can
funky.
stop it.
You was funky, homie.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I'll send it to you.
I don't even use that word.
Yeah.
You doing it.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Hey, man, you know what
Where
I
we
want to
going?
do? You know what
Where
I
we
want to
driving
do?
this car? Let's
You know
go.
what I want to do?
Mm.
Before we get started, I want everybody to understand that you are in Sweden, right?
Yep, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. 4:12.
So I want everybody to know what kind of love you are giving to Pop Lock Talk to get up at 4 in the
Mhm.
morning to be on this show, man.
Yeah,
Everybody
of course,
understand
man.
that. Damon Frost is up at 4 a.m. in Sweden
Yeah,
to chop it up.
yeah, I wouldn't miss it for the world, man. That was just like my honor, man. Thank you for having me on, bro.
That's dope. That's dope, man. So hey,
And your hat is winning, man. I need to upgrade. Hold up.
man, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that, homie. Hey, so right off the top, I got to start talking to you, man, about that $1 million equipment you got back there in the background.
Okay.
So you producing music or what?
Yeah, absolutely. I mix for other people. I produce for myself, and I've been like, I've been doing it since about '89.
Oh wow.
So, I've been like, um, an artist. I've been working together with groups. I've been like Grammy nominated in Sweden for what that's worth. I'm
Is
like,
that right?
yeah, but I need to be better at letting people know what I do. It's just been uh, like a labor of love. Like I'm really enjoying it, and I'm not really so keen on the music industry, and you know what lurks there. So I'm not really tripping, or I haven't been for the last couple of decades about releasing music too much. But now, of course, there's a lot of different alternatives. So now there's no excuse not to put something out and get the music to the good folks. So that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Hey, explain this to me. Comparing the Grammys to out here in the United States to Sweden, is it as serious out there as it is here?
They're trying to make it be. It's not the same scale, though. No, it's not. You know, because the the populace isn't the same in Sweden as it is in the United States. So you know,
So,
it's not the same. It's scaled down.
so you're producing music for artists out there.
No, not. I'm making music for my friends, whether they be out here or out there. So I'm really like it's. I have to like it. People have to be funky. I have to be interested in. I'm not trying to uh, be on some quick formula cash in kind of thing. It's really
So,
like
so
not my not my
what genre
thing.
of music is it?
It's extremely funky,
Okay, okay.
just like that,
So,
just like I play. So
so they
that's
love
like
funk. They
I
love funk in Sweden, huh?
a few of us, yeah. So there's actually so like I moved here '85, and when I came here, lo and behold, to my surprise, the club and the funk scene was really strong. I just didn't expect that here. So they're tapped in here. So
You've
like
been
when it
in
comes
Sweden
to
since 1985?
yeah, mm,
My goodness. That's where
yeah,
you
I moved
from,
out here
then?
when I was 20.
You from Sweden, homie.
Yeah, and now you see the Viking horns. See?
Yeah. Wow. So what is that like living out there, man, compared to
It
to the States?
well it has its own set of um you know what would you say components, but I would say that the living out here is pretty good. The There's a lot of things that I miss about the United States and a lot of things that I don't miss. And for example, like just the the individuality, the creativity, the originality that comes from people that might be in a situation that's um, maybe not the best situation, but people like bond loyalties. You get a strong sense of what is right and wrong. Your moral compass. You're on a path. It's like you do things with conviction because you know if you fall off, you see the consequences. The consequences are dire. And when I moved out here, those kind of consequences weren't really. Um, it wasn't as life or death when I moved out here. It's getting more that way now. But
Interesting.
but there's like for instance, so you know how polite we are in the States, right? Because you got upbringing, you know how polite you are.
We are.
And no, but I mean, but if you're not, you understand the consequences. You understand if you step on somebody's shoes and you don't say something, something will transpire.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
no question, right?
Okay.
So this is a place you can be in public and people will bump into you and not say anything.
Really?
Yeah, and that was just new to me. It's like, wait a minute, huh? It could be a little teenage girl just like elbow you to get through.
So is it
That's like no
congested?
upbringing.
Is it congested there or what?
No, I can't. There's no reason. I've been
I was
so
giving them
what
the
I under.
benefit of the doubt, man.
They don't know no better,
Hmm.
and
So
because they've
so when
never
you first moved there, you
seen.
was ready to smack somebody.
Look it, man. I had to understand that there was a lot of the states that was in me that I understood that okay, this isn't like everywhere. This is so. For instance, so you know the code. You look at somebody, you don't know somebody. If you don't smile, and if you look at them, how many seconds would you say you got? You got about 2 seconds, right?
Yeah, if that.
4 seconds, they don't say anything. They staring at you. You think that maybe okay, maybe I'm a celebrity. Maybe they're trying to figure you out, right? You give them a little leeway. 10 seconds. What happens? You say like, "Can I help you? You good? You trying right?"
Right.
What happens after 20 seconds when they don't say anything? Somebody's staring at you. You know what that means, right?
That's an issue here.
But it don't mean the same thing here. I can't explain it. So I could look right back and people don't feel no kind of way. This is something that is
Yeah.
in
Hey,
us
you better
from
than
our
me. I
upbringing.
don't know how you adapted to that, homie.
Well, I would I had to look to see what the states had put in me, and I had to say was like, okay, um, if my baby girl, so I'm a father of four. So if my baby girl was to look at somebody and she didn't know, would I want him to get angry at her? You know what I mean? I had to think. I had to like, shit. What am I doing? Like, am
Make
I
concept.
being the problem? Or so I had to
Okay.
talk to myself for a few years.
Okay.
It didn't happen at once. So yeah,
Okay.
that's that.
So check this out.
Mm.
1985. That was a year where this dance that we love so much was, my opinion, not at a weak point, but it was on its way down.
Yep, it sure was.
It was on its way down. I
Yeah.
think what was kind of keeping it live was the East Coast, because Run DMC was hot and they were still
Mm,
coming out with b-boys and poppers and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Yep.
So, but at that
Yeah,
point,
that's super true. That's super true. So, uh,
so
so
is
when
that
I
what made it easy for you to leave the States and go to Sweden?
100% accurate. So the thing is, so okay, so in 1985, where I was at the time, I was in Berkeley, California. So I was in the Bay Area. So when I'm in the Bay, um, I had a little name for myself, and things were cool, and I had my rep, so I felt good about myself. My neighborhood supported me. My dad and my mom was
Wait a minute.
proud, and I
I'm
felt.
sorry, homie. I got to stop you.
Mhm.
You're being humble because your name has come up a multiple of times. Matter of
I'm
fact,
old.
I was I was almost held gunpoint to have you on the show. And now here it is. You on the phone talking
Listen,
about you had a little bit of rep.
no, I had a rep. Okay,
Nah, man, you was up there. Go ahead and brag about your
okay. Oh,
status.
we'll get into it. We'll get into it. So, so exactly at this time, uh, uh, the celebrity status started to change a little bit. So what happened is dancers, they're on some snooty shit. So people that would try to get into the dance circles, now it was kind of closed for the layman. You know, either you're a fan or something, and then these dancers be on some star power shit. And and in the Bay Area, it started to turn around like this because crack came to town,
Uh-huh.
and the dealers was looking sharp. So they were like the new stars, because they had the clothes. They was like, everybody was spicy, and the dancers used to try to front on them a little bit in the beginning. So what happened is the dealers, I believe, just turned the whole thing around. It's like when you're going to get a real job, you still dancing on the street for coins. You're still getting dirty. So the rawest dancers, they're down there doing ground moves. They're getting all dirty. Your shoes are ripping. You're coming up. You do a good dance solo, and you have like clean people,
Like a
like
street bum.
here. Let me try to let me dust you off. You looking kind of shabby, like this kind of shit. And so the shift slowly started to change. I'd say it took about 8 months, and then if you didn't have some kind of income coming from your dancing, then you were being laughed at. You were being clowned. So I think that had a lot to do with it, because it wasn't a profession at the time, and most people was in it for the. Besides being practitioners, the girls are looking at you, and all of a sudden, the girls ain't looking at you. Girls are laughing at you, and you know it's that deals a terrible blow. So right around that time, I had an offer to do a dance job in France. And at the time, my girlfriend was Swedish, lived with me in Sweden, excuse me, in the States, and she'd been trying to tell me to come to Sweden. Mm. And I was like, thinking, this is never going to happen. I'm never coming out here. This ain't. But I got this dance job in France, and I did that. And I figured, since I was in the neighborhood, so to speak, that let's meet up in Amsterdam, and then we can catch the train to Sweden. Then I can meet your folks and stuff. And so I didn't come out.
What kind of dance job was it?
It was working at a hotel in Val d'Isère, doing dance solos every night for some good money. Matter of fact, the person who got the offer with me, who was standing right next to me, was Lonnie Green, Pop Tart.
Pop Tart.
And so we talk about that to this day. That he's like, man, I should have went out there with you. Yeah, but it wasn't my intention to move out here. But since I think I'd been moving a lot as a kid, and when I got out here and I kind of acclimated, and I was like, okay, this could work. And people were like giving me work. I was working in discotheques, doing solos and clubs, and I was appreciated, loved, and paid, and I was like, I got homesick, went back home about 8 months later, and it was it was dead on the ground. And I was asking people like, "What's up?" They're like, "Dude, nothing's up. Why are you here? Like, you made it out. Why? What are you doing?" And I was like, "Okay." And I went back, and I haven't really looked back since. And that's when I had my daughter and my son and stuff. And I was like, "Okay, where am I going to raise the kids?" It's like, okay.
So you say you have four kids, right?
Yeah, I got two adults and two kids.
What are their ages?
Let me see, 33, 31, 15, and 13.
Hey, man, you look good to have kids in your 30s, homie.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Right on. So, look, I got a very, very important question to ask you. And I want to ask this question because I want Pop Lock Talk to be the show where people come and get valid information.
All right.
This is going to be the history books for this dance. For boogaloo, pop lockers, roboters, strutters, everything. So my question, what year did you very first start getting down, and what style was it?
Okay. Let me see. I was born 1965, and I'm 10 years old. 1975. I'm really trying to robot. I'm really, really trying to robot as good as a 10-year-old kid can robot.
Now,
I'm trying to.
Who
trying
influenced
to
you to robot?
TV, house parties.
Okay.
So that was
no
like
one personally was saying, "Hey, man, check me out and do this."
No, I'd catch it. It was what was happening. You know what I mean? So that was so everybody our generation, we know the significance of the lockers. So I was trying to lock, but it just was too complicated, man. I just couldn't catch it. You'd see a little snippet here on Soul Train, I hear Bob, but you just catch these little things. I couldn't put it together. But doing a robot, that was something I'm like, okay, I could be mechanical. This is something like that kids, I believe they think that they can approach. There's not as much syncopations, multi-coordinations. It's more, you have a picture of it in your mind and you go for it. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to robot.
So in 1975, what city were you in?
1975, I was in, let me see, I was going back and forth between Pasadena, Alhambra, and Hawaii.
Man, you have been to so many different places, man. Good.
Dude, I've been moving around.
So listen,
like really, really.
If someone asked you, "Hey, Damon Frost, man, where you grew up at?" What's your response?
I'd probably say mostly Hawaii and the Bay Area.
Really? Okay. In what city in the Bay Area?
Berkeley.
And that's where you learned to get down, right?
I don't know. So we're talking about popping. Okay, where it all started is me watching my mom dance, watching, family members dance, watching my dad's friends dance. So the Frost family, there's a lot of us in San Diego. So all my Frost family down in San Diego, all my cousins and stuff, they're the ones that put P-Funk in my ear,
That's what's up.
And I was like, what is this? I couldn't really understand it. But then once you get in, maybe one song will hook you, and then that's it. Then you're all in. And so there was some Bootsy got me in, and then it just opened up, And then I was hearing George Duke doing Dookie Sticks, and I thought it was Bootsy, and I was like, oh, he just took that for, and you catch your ear for it, and you start winning your bass stuff, boom, you want it to start to bend and stuff, and so you catch your ear for it. And so I was lucky enough to have been alive exactly when funk was blossoming and going from the JB sort of, New Orleans second line rhythm, drum beats and breaks and stuff to P-Funk and that whole thing. And when synthesizers came in, by the time Flashlight came in, I was just, it was a religious experience at my junior high school. I remember when it
I
came out.
appreciate you saying this, man, because I always tell the youngsters before the glory of hip hop, there was pop lock. We were getting
Yeah,
down to funk music, not always
yeah.
rap music. Of course,
No,
today,
no, no. This is, dude. By the time hip hop came out, I remember thinking like, "That's a really strange name. Is that what you guys call this thing we do?" And it's like, we're this is the funk era. This is funk culture. So the fact that somebody was trying to market this and just put all these things in one thing, I understood that there was strength in numbers, but I didn't, I didn't understand what New York had to do with this. I didn't dress like that,
right?
until I had to go over there and see what it was about. And I was like, okay, and I have a lot of dear close friends that are New York boogie dancers, you know, and so I saw the different styles. For me, that was like the Galapagos. It was animal doing something similar, but they had a beak and they were doing it their way. And I was like, okay, this is how you do it. So I've seen a bunch of different styles. But to get back to your question, so I've been dancing before I was trying to do the robot or trying to pop a boogaloo or anything like that. I was dancing. It was house parties, discos. I remember seeing people like jam. My mother was taking me to discotheques when I was 11. So I was watching people in discos like jam. And so I wanted to dance. And so when it came to doing something mechanical or to do a wave or something, this is way after the fact. I had already been dancing. I had already been trying to do the James Brown. I was already trying to do the mashed potatoes in church. You know
That's
what I
what's
mean?
up. Did you say in church?
Yeah, yeah. San Diego, my father's side of the family is serious church going folks. So yeah, you get it. You can't help but to get it.
Yeah. Earlier you
Church.
earlier you mentioned uh, Lonnie Green, Pop Tart.
Yeah, yeah.
So did the two of you used to dance together?
Yeah, yeah. A bit like so. He had his own affiliations with his crews, with his neighborhoods, and these things. And I was an up and coming soloist, and I was a part of a b-boy group called the Master City Breakers eventually. But I was pretty much known as being a soloist, and we had similar friends. So I'd have Boogaloo Dana Durham from Demons of the Minds, later
Yes.
Media Circus, and Aaron A Plus, and a lot of the people that Lonnie used to dance with. Everybody just knew each other because we'd all make money like at the same place. We go to Fisherman's Wharf, Pier 39, or somewhere where we thought tourists would go, and we were doing street shows. And they'd be in Berkeley too. There was a scene. There was a couple places where you had to go, where all the practitioners would go. So ever since, like I'd known Lonnie, and he liked what I was doing, and so we would trade the techniques. I'd show him something, and he'd show me something.
That's
Stuff.
dope.
So that was cool. Yeah.
That's dope. So Pop Tart is from what's the name of his crew?
Which one of them? He's been at it for a
He was
long
in one with
time.
Harry Berry, right?
Yeah, yeah, as well. God bless. I miss Harry.
Yeah. Oh, you know
Yeah.
what? Every time I mention a loved one of ours that dance, I always give them 5 seconds of funk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pop Lock love to Harry Berry. So,
Absolutely.
Damon Frost, homie, I'm gonna have to dig deep into you because you're an extremely humble guy and people love people like you. Everyone loves guys like you. But homie, I need to know. You're gonna have to brag a little bit about yourself. I need to know, why is there such a big hype behind your name? And I'm serious because a lot of dudes out here that get down have a big respect for you. And you know why. So tell me
Mm,
why.
okay. I think it has to. There's some skill involved, a whole lot of luck, and timing. So, for instance, I'd been dancing for a while, and I didn't take it too seriously, and I became really serious with bicycle motocross. So I was a freestyle BMXer with
Oh wow.
sponsors and everything. I was that guy, and I
Okay.
was amongst the premier uh, trick riders in Northern California. So that's how I first made my name. I was BMX Damon. Oh, BMX Damon, BMX Damon. And what happened is in 1982, I had an accident where I broke my wrist, so I couldn't ride my bike for about a year. And so I went crazy during this time.
Yeah.
And I went deep into dance because I had to do something. And
Right.
exactly at this time, I caught some of the OGs that were slowing down, that were encouraging us young upstarts. And so we had a milieu of seeing incredible references. And exactly at this time, the soloists was starting to get popular. Before that, it was pretty much groups,
Right.
talent shows and groups.
Routine.
So, right. And so the fact that I was coming up as a soloist and I got co-signed by a lot of important people, that they would set battles up for me. And so there's a funny so Lonnie's funny. So Lonnie got pissed off at Harry Berry one time. Harry Berry went down south and he came up super powered. He was in charge. He'd been dancing with a lot of incredible dancers in LA and came back to the Bay ready to take heads. So me and him are friends. So basically, I don't battle my friends. Just I don't do it. So uh, so Lonnie and a few and a few of our people tried to instigate this because they was upset at Harry. They're like, no, we got to cool Harry down. And so Harry, I'd heard the hoopla, and I went to Harry. I said, "Listen, man, they're trying to make us battle. I'm not trying to battle you. I don't, just like I don't battle my friends." He goes, "Okay," and it's all good. So Lonnie wasn't having it, and there was a contest at Kezar Stadium. So this is a great big basketball court in this arena. This is right next to Golden Gate Park in San Francisco. But this is a great big break dance competition and stuff. And and then I hear my name being called out at the microphone, and there was a big battle between me and Harry.
So you and Harry Berry got down.
Yeah, in the middle of the halfway line on the court in this arena at a breakdance contest.
Damon
Like,
Frost.
dun, dun, dun.
We can't sugarcoat on Pop Lock Talk. You're gonna have to give me
Yeah.
details on who went out first and how it ended. I know I need a plot
Okay.
too. I need the plot. I need the inside of what went down in this battle.
Okay. So what had happened was, so Lonnie just gassed Harry up, said to him that I said all kind of shit I didn't say. He told me this later. So we're friends. So this is, and me and Harry, we're all laughing about this stuff, decades later. But at the time, I didn't know. And somebody calls you out, like your integrity won't let you back down, especially not in front of an arena of
No,
people.
man, that's like
Ooh,
that's like getting
dude,
bombed on and you don't hit nobody back.
dude, it's time to go.
Yeah.
So at this time, uh, uh, I can't remember who went out first. I think knowing me, I think Harry went out first because I'm like, if you call me out,
Of course you're gonna land.
like that's how I'm thinking. I can't remember exactly. But Harry has like a whole bunch of signature moves. Harry's like incredible, and but what had happened was it's like the moves that I was doing and some of the stuff that I was inventing was unusual at the time. So this is, excuse me, this is 84, maybe the beginning of 85, maybe right before I moved to Sweden. So what had happened is, to get back to your question, why am I held in such high regards, is because people saw me get down at very like integral places, like in the Bay. I already had a little rumor about myself. There was no videos really. There was no social media. So it was like the rumor of I had a name that seemed to stick. It was, the Rubberband man. It was like the Rubberband, and people would exaggerate things, and it became mythical status. People would come up to me and they're like, "Yeah, you pretty good, but you can't handle my cousin, the Rubberband man." I'm like, "Really? Ooh, tell me, what does he look like?" And people would describe some dude who was 7 feet tall. This name it developed legs on its own and walked its own path. So, uh, to get back to Harry's story, so we're getting down in the middle of this ring, and it goes very well for me. Harry comes out and he gets a bunch of oohs and ahs, but like the stuff that I was doing, people hadn't seen these things before, and it was just like pandemonium. It was like it was like
So
that.
basically, the two of you put on an awesome show because Harry Berry is dope as hell, and
He's incredible.
you ain't no
God
joke.
rest his dead, incredible.
And
So
it's
what
all
happened is
oh,
Harry looked. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
no, go ahead, man. Talk to me.
So Harry looked back at Lonnie, and Lonnie was like, clowned him, and so it broke his spirit.
Hmm.
It was out there. His so-called fam that had put him in the situation. He's like, and laughed, and that hurt Harry's feelings. So Harry was out there, and he gave in. He let it go.
Me and Harry Berry had a real good relationship, man, and I was fortunate. Uh-oh, you got a cold, huh?
I'm just getting over it, man. Excuse me.
Okay. Uh, I'm glad we doing this through the internet, man. Cause no, I had the chance, man, to see Harry Berry before he passed away, and this dude was comical to me, man. Harry Berry came all the way. I don't know what state he was living in, but he would choose the most raggediest car that he can find and drive for miles and miles. And I mean, cross state. And man, he came all the way to Cali to come see me, man. And he came and hung with me for maybe about 6 or 7 hours. And all we did was pop lock. We talked. We played oldies, and then he left. I did not know that would be the last time that I would see him. When he got back to his town, that's when he found out, okay, hey, I'm sick.
Yeah.
But before he was sick, I was able to put him in one of my projects, and I want to say it's the last video he ever did. I did during the quarantine, everybody had to come up with creative things to do, so I had
Right.
did a video with pop lockers where I woke up in the morning with a Chuck Taylor. I put it up to the camera, and then when I pull it back, boom, I'm dressed up nice, and then I
Yeah,
start
yeah.
dancing. When I finish
Yeah.
dancing, I throw the Chuck Taylor over. Boom, the next person catch it.
Cool.
They put it to the camera. Boom, they dressed up nice.
Cool
So
segue. Yeah.
yeah, I was able to put Harry Berry in that video, man, and it just broke my heart to find out, that he had cancer, and it was like once he found out, it went like that.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah. I was just talking to him. It had gone a couple days, and then you know you get the news, and it's like, wait, I was just it was that kind of thing, and he was telling me about it, but he wasn't really crying about it. He wasn't talking
no,
about the
he was
situation. He
he
was
was a
just,
boss about it.
you get it.
Because
Yeah.
you know what he did, and you know how I knew something was really up and this was getting serious,
His
because
hair.
he would call me. We wouldn't talk about that at all,
Mm.
and I can tell he just wanted a companion.
There you go. Yeah.
And
Whew.
he would bring up
Mm.
these movies. He'll bring up I forgot what he had. He had an account with something, and he'd be like, "Cool boy, what movie you like, man? What karate movie you like?" I'd be like, "Man, play Bruce Lee and Bolo," and he'd pull up, and we would sit there over the phone.
Enter.
We'll sit there over the phone, and I knew he just wanted to have time with somebody, man. And I said, "Okay, I'm gonna give it to him." And we sat there, and I'll sit there and watch a movie with him over the phone because I knew what that was about. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He knew he was
Yeah.
probably about to go, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
He asked me something. There was somebody. There's another one of our fallen, Boogaloo Vic from the Bay Area.
okay,
So Boogaloo Vic was an incredible, incredible dancer. Incredible. And Boogaloo Vic was talking to him, and Harry didn't. Somehow they didn't really cross paths too much. And Vic is very boastful, and Harry's like, I don't know you. And so he calls me in Sweden. He goes, "This is dude." he goes, "Was he really that guy? Was he really?" And I go, "Yep." I said, "He actually, he really, yeah, he really was. That dude is really bad about it." And I started telling him the moves that he did, that we traded, that I do. I said, "That comes from him." He's like, "Really?" He's like, okay." He goes, "All right, I'm gonna apologize to him then."
Man,
And he did.
he wasn't just an awesome dancer, man. Everybody loved Harry Berry, man. You just had to love
Yeah,
him, you know.
yeah, yeah.
But Damon
He put his
Frost,
heart on the line. Yeah.
I want to know about you, brother.
Okay. So to get back to your question about why, so my dad worked for United Airlines, so I could travel.
Okay.
So my first boogaloo partner in the Bay was a guy named Danny Wyatt, who's an American Grammy award-winning producer. Really bad about it. The last person to record Curtis Mayfield alive, like
Whoa,
really that
that's
guy.
deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Did a bunch of stuff for Native Tongues, Tribe Called Quest, works with Bob Power. He's really that guy. But at the time, he was studying law at Columbia University, and we had been dancing. He's like, "Damon, you got to come out here. They're not going to be ready for you." And I'm like, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, you come out here, and then you can stay in my dorm at Columbia." And I'm like, "All right." So I go to New York, and we were the Bay Area was hating on New York. we were jealous, and because the media is LA and New York. You know what I mean? The media wasn't so strong in the Bay Area, so we really felt like we had something to prove. And so I'd go to New York, and I was on some conquer shit. I had some names that there's a guy by the name of Muhammad that's a fantastic dancer. He is one of the members of Magnificent Force with Fables and Mr. Wiggles.
Yeah.
In New York.
Okay,
right.
come on, now you talk.
So he had come out to the Bay because he was a part of the Fresh Fest tour.
I remember that. Early
So
days.
he was on some star power, and he was trying to battle a lot of poppers
Okay.
in the Bay Area, and a lot of times he wasn't winning, but he just wasn't conceding like he wasn't winning. He's like, yeah, you all right, but if Wiggles was here, if my man Fable was here, you wouldn't have. And so we started to know these names because he was mentioning these names. So I started to to write these names down. So I had a list of people like that I was gonna come see about when I get to New York. And here I am broke, and people are putting pinching pennies so I could have some money to eat with when I go out there. And so, dude, I'm on a mission. So I go out there, and I had some real epic battles at real epic places like the Roxy. I'm battling Wiggles. I'm like, it's like big. I think all this is happening in this amount of time between when I stopped riding my bike, 82, to when I leave to Sweden in 85. It's just concentrated. Lots of battles with really heavy hitters, and then poof, I'm gone.
Okay.
And so that's
you and Wiggles had a battle?
yeah. No, me and Fables had a battle.
You and Fables.
Pop Master Fable.
Okay, and how did that go down?
It worked out very well for me.
I like how you put that, man. I like how you keep putting that.
So here's the funny thing. So right after the thing, me and Fables get to talking, and he's really cool. This is like really good people. So he starts looking after me, and many years later, he's one of the people that helped get me on the Jam on the Groove tour, which is with the first sort of like off-Broadway hip-hop musical, period, from New York. And Adesla, Doc, a lot of some people from Rocksteady, Ken Swift, some of Style Elements is in it. Like all-star. Michael Chambers, Boogaloo Shrimp was in it for a time. It was trying to comprise of the best, and they were going on world tours. So later, Fables is looking out for me and getting me in this group, and we're doing European tours, and I go to Japan, and so these people are putting me on. They become my really good friends. I had a battle with my brother, another fallen dancer. This really hurt me. So there's a guy named Little Shake from New York who's
let's give him 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And Boogaloo Vic, right?
Yes.
Let's give them together.
Victor Suarez. Yeah.
1,
Chris Shake Mathis.
2, 3, 4, 5. Much love to them both.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
So I auditioned for the Dynamic Rockers because they were one of the 3 biggest hip hop crews in New York at the time. It was Rocksteady, New York City Breakers, and the Dynamic Rockers.
Now, what do you have to do when you audition?
Battle. So they put me up against Little Shake. And what happens is we have so much fun battling that we become friends. We're laughing, shaking it. We right there on the spot. Right. And people are like, so we become friends. He's one of the people that set up the battle with Fables. And he was also on the Jam on the Groove tour. And so it becomes like a fraternity of really high level dancers from all different styles. I see the best of the boogie dancers. Eventually I meet Mr. Wiggles because we're on tour on the Jam on the Groove tour. Okay. And we get to talk, and he had heard about it and stuff, and we're all trading notes, and we're kind of like, I sort of go from trying to battle people, more to like just trying to be the best that I can be. And so I'm not really tripping on battling, but where I'm trading techniques with people from all over.
Yeah.
83, I come down to LA because Hugo asked me to come down. Hugo was in the Bay Area, and he was him and Sugar Pop was up here. I met Sugar Pop through a friend of mine named Kalani Young, who's down with Quick Style and some of the Booyah, some of the Simones up in the Bay Area.
Man, you've been around everybody.
And Hugo said, "Yeah, come on down." So I came down.
Yeah. And
then he introduced me to everybody, and that's the I had met Taco in 80 earlier that year because they were doing promotional stuff for the movie before it came out. I go down there and I see people like Gerardo, with his incredible wave, and people know him as Rico Suave.
Yeah.
Donald. I meet Robot Prince, so I saw that he was on your show, and then that was really cool for me. So Taco's like, dude, you think I'm hard? You want to see something really hard?
Yeah.
And I go, yeah. He goes, watch this guy, and he asked Prince to get down for me, and I had never seen anything like that before. And
really?
And Taco asked me to do waves and stuff because that was my thing, and he hadn't seen those kind of waves, so we're both tripping off each other. He's like, dude, we got to form a group together. And I was like, but I lived in the Bay, and I was like, oh man, if I lived down here, that would be the super
Taco
duo.
was saying to you that him and Robot Prince should form a group together?
No, Robot Prince himself said to me, he said that we should combine our skills.
That's dope.
Yeah, that he would do the hard stuff and I would do the flexible stuff and the waves, the waving stuff. And so, and he was dancing together with, what's my man's name? It's Bell. Robert Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was like the perfect combo to me. So when I saw them on Soul Train, like he had his strategies and concepts figured out. That was really cool.
Yeah. Hey Damon, let's take time, man, and give a shout out to what's that cat's name? Mike Tron.
Yes.
Mike Tron. Yes. He really admires me, man. He talks
dude, he's the coolest person. Yeah, we talk all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good people, man. Absolutely. Hey, what's up, Tron?
Oh, Pop Lock love to Mike Tron, man. Hey, I want to show you something real quick. Give me a
swing on my penis. You wish you could go into my neighborhood, my mental place. AD wears the place. Collect checks quarterly, making bites cordially. Hi, my name is Boston Get Lost.
The beat was popular, style and the feeling, but I keep them down on tap so you can feel it.
Let the story get loose, fly like how it used to cruise. Make tracks in the fresh way. Spin your speakers just like a last lane.
This song started just for fun, so I can make a point when I'm on the run. I left my SP at home. Do you have another? I have to make them with my brother. The beats I keep them raw, funky to the part, overstand beat now. Or should I say, the track? All of the new jacks, they can make all hats, but they lack the impact of coming out with an ass back in your bar.
Can you say daddy slap?
Hearing haters afraid bullshit. I told you before, snap, just stay equipped, got 5 heads to saver. You know the facts, dude. Do me a favor.
To get down like that, you have to be in great shape. What do you do to stay in shape like that, to be able to dance like that, man?
I teach a lot of dance classes, and so the things that I need to work on, I try to like incorporate them in my class, so it keeps the rust off a bit. So exactly at that time, I think on that clip, I was 40. So, but I was teaching about like 15 dance classes a week. So I would say the answer to that question is the dance classes. It's like my source of income. I hadn't considered what the physical benefits it was given to me, but I started to realize, I was like, okay, this is keeping me alive. There's a funny thing, just on another note. So that song that I was dancing to, that's one of the songs that I had made.
Really?
So yeah. So featured on that track is a rapper named Boss One from Style Elements, and he is the person who got me and Tron in contact with each other again. So that's funny that we were just talking about Mike Tron, and then that song came on. Yeah.
You know, man, I find it to be a beautiful thing that you can create your own music to dance to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't make music. I got to sit back, wait for a jam to come on that I like, or, you know, wait for my favorite artist to make a song that I want to get down to. But you actually can go in the laboratory and have something in your head because you know how you move.
Yeah.
You can actually get in there and stir something.
Yeah, dude.
That's a dope thing to do, man.
It's the second you realize that you can actually do this, you're hooked, dude. I can't stop doing it. It's like as obsessive as dancing to me. It's like to the end of my days, I'm going to be doing this, man.
Let me ask you a question, and it's going to sound crazy, but I know you're going to be able to relate.
Okay.
Because you're actually doing it. My question is, with you being able to produce your own music for you to dance to, does it enhance skills on both sides?
100%. Because what happens is when you're making music, first you find some music that you love. Oh, that's my song. Right. And you get this physical feeling that is undeniable about the song. You know, like now, if I hear if I hear the song Funkenteleki, I need a moment. I just need to just like, you know, it affects me, you know, and people that have a relationship like that to music know exactly what I'm talking about, where you can have a song on repeat for like a few weeks in your headphones, and that is just your song, and you don't care what anybody says. Like, I get stuck on music like that. So what happens is once you find these songs that you love and then you try to recreate that feeling, it makes you analyze the components that, when you put this together with this thing on its own is okay, that on its own is okay, but together the sum of their parts are greater, you know. And when you start to understand those things, then it starts making you listen to music differently. And so when you're dancing to music that you love, you're finding little components that sometimes people wouldn't hear when they were listening to the song. And you can show them and they hear, they're like, I hear he's dancing to the, you know what I mean? It lets them hear differently. So there's a super integral relationship for me when it comes to the music I like, the rhythms I like, the syncopations I like, and how I dance. Because a lot of people tell me the way you dance is exactly the way your music sounds. So there's something to that, what you say.
So
You're on point.
is there an instrument or a
Drums,
or a sound?
bass.
Is it the bass for you? Because I love that talk box, and here on the West Coast, I love that clap.
Yeah, always.
That
Yeah,
clap. But it's the bass for you, huh?
Well, okay. So my entrance into this is me starting to understand that I might be able to do this is when I'm 25 years old. I start taking drum lessons. Now, mind you, the teacher that taught me, I learned was the drummer for the Nicholas Brothers as well.
Whoa.
Mr. Ronnie Gardner, I am internally indebted to you teaching me how to play drums.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know
The first thing
you bugged the hell, not to go off your story, but I know
No, he didn't tell me. He didn't tell me. So he goes like this.
You know why? Because he knew you were a dancer, huh?
Yeah, listen, this is what he said. He asked me, he goes, Damon, who would you say, who are like your influences in dance? He goes, you probably like Michael Jackson, right? And I go, yeah, I do. But I said, I'm really stuck on the Nicholas Brothers. He goes, the Nicholas Brothers, huh? Oh, okay. And a year and a half later, he called me and goes, hey, Damon, what are you doing? You got a little time? He goes, why don't you meet me in town? Going to town, he introduces me to Harold Nicholas.
Whoa, that's big. That's dope, man.
That was a moment. That's a moment big. For me. Yeah. But when I started to learn how to play the drums,
okay,
then it started to make me listen to music just differently. I started to go in. And I had a sampler and an Atari computer to sequence it. And I was trying to make my drums feel like the drums of the folk songs that I grew up on. Mm-hmm. And you realize what is supposed to be late, what is supposed to be early, to get that hang, to make it feel like how it was feeling for us. So that kind of stuff you figure out. And once you are tuned into that, then it just opens the door, and then we go in. And I guess maybe because my voice is bassy, maybe that's why I hear those frequencies more. I can't sing very high, but I can hold the tune like kind of low in my register. So I think maybe that's why I hear the drum and bass like so strong. But it's interesting that you said the clap. I don't want to
put you on blast, man, but this is gonna make it fun. You got to hit a note for me, dog. I don't care if it's
not gonna happen.
I don't care if it's a. Oh, you know what? You know why I'm gonna let you get away with it? Because you said you're not feeling. You got a code. And I know you ain't gonna be able to do that.
Okay.
I know you ain't gonna be able to
I sing like a frog, man.
I'm gonna stall you out this time.
Okay.
But we're gonna have pop lock talk again.
Okay.
It's gonna come around, and I'm gonna remember it. I'm not gonna let you get away with it.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Damon, do me.
But you said the clap. And the important thing, I'm glad you said this, because here's something that a lot of up and coming dancers don't understand, because they've been hearing the concept of the one, and people calling like certain components of funk the one, and James Brown saying the one, and George Clinton saying the one. But if you're not hitting the backbeat, if you're not hitting the 2 and 4, then there's something missing in your game. There's an important component. If you're not hitting the claps or the snares, and there's some European dancers that are incredible movers, but don't hit the because they're just feeling the pulse, but they're not highlighting the this, and then you can't talk about funk without a backbeat. So I'm happy you said that.
Okay, hey man, what is your most memorable or biggest accomplishment with this dance?
Let me see. I'll tell you. For me, it's right before I turned 40, and I was feeling kind of old, and I was in this group,
Yeah.
of a very well-to-do group in Stockholm, and they let me go, and it kind of made me feel like, oh, they're not trying to mess with old head anymore, and I'm loyal, so I was hurt. So exactly at this moment, I happened to go to France because I wanted to see this contest called Juste Debout, and I hadn't planned on entering the contest, but I did, and Salah, a French dancer, and I won the contest, and that was a big deal for me.
Wait a minute. So the clip I just played, where was that at?
That was in Sweden at a contest that was associated with Just a Bull. That was me when I was
just
a
made me
judge.
think about something. Was that you with Salah battling two girls?
Yeah.
They were like sisters or twins?
No, they're friends. Yeah,
they're
Magali
friends.
and Claire. Yeah.
Okay. What year? That had to be like in the early 2000s, huh?
That's 2004.
Yeah, I remember
So
seeing.
that's the year we won.
Okay.
And I was happy because I was dancing against much younger people, and I was, because your mind is playing tricks on you, like I'm 40, I won't be able to move, like I just, and I went out there with no preparation and did it, and we took it home. So that was a big one for me.
Yeah, the two of you together are awesome, man.
Yeah, he's incredible.
You have a big
My
influence
goodness.
on him because I was watching you dance, and I was thinking of him when I saw you get down, especially some of the moves when you lean back and go back down to the ground.
Yeah. But he took that and he took it somewhere else. He ran with that. He upgraded all that stuff. So he's my hats off to Salah.
Hey man, tell me something that people should know about you that you know they don't know. You need me to repeat that?
Nope.
All right.
Okay.
You with me? I like that. You sharp.
Yeah.
You sharp.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay. All right. So I told you guys about BMX Damon. So you know about that.
Right.
You know about that. Okay. I'm an illustrator, and I was really deep off into graffiti at one time. A lot of people don't know that. I was DJing at the most well-to-do clubs in Stockholm, and I have a vinyl collection that is just ridiculous. And I am, from the second I go to sleep to the second I wake up, I'm tapping my foot or thinking about music in some way. I mean, it's like on an obsessive level. So, so a lot of, like, I don't talk about it, but I'm lucky this isn't unhealthy for me. Otherwise,
that's your passion. Music is your passion as well, huh?
Yeah, I'm stuck on it, man. I mean, like, really, really.
I don't know if you watched the interview with Anthony A.K. King, the original.
Yeah.
He's a musician as well. Yeah. A matter of fact, his name is Anthony King, but his cousin is Jay King. Jay King is from Club Nouveau.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, they're first
cousins.
Yeah. Jay King and Anthony
that's
King.
Cool.
But Anthony King can blow, man, and he produces music as well. So
wow. Oh, that's incredible. That's cool.
You guys got something in common, is my point of saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll investigate that lead, definitely.
Hey, what are you doing today, man, with the dance as of now? How old are you now?
I'm gonna be 57 in May, so I'm 56 right now.
Hey, man, us poppers, man, us pop lockers, it made us look good. We look. I know. You know. You keep us the youth, because you look good, bro.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I'm moving. I'm still teaching a lot of dance classes. It's my, that's what I do. If I'm not dad in family mode, and if I'm not teaching dance classes, I'm in the studio. Like that's the, you know, my life.
The cost of living out there in Sweden is different, huh?
I used to think it was high until I heard what prices are in the Bay Area. So it's not some Silicon Valley craziness, but it's see, rent is like maybe around maybe a G a month, like around there.
Oh, you living good, man.
Like
Yeah.
it's about like that. A lot of the food is imported, so the food isn't cheap. I miss burritos, man. I miss like real black bean burritos.
Give me your address. I'll send you one.
Okay, okay.
Hey, so check this out. Earlier you said you was gonna hook up with Robot Prince, and
yeah.
you was gonna mainly do all the waving, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, what's on your mind in your head, man, when it's time for you to go into that mode and start throwing them waves? Because I talk to myself when I get in. Okay, cool boy.
Mm-hmm.
You liquid today. You're going to be water today. I talk to myself to pump myself up. What goes through your head, man, when you throwing them waves?
Well, it's at different times. So, for instance, like in the beginning, I used to have a whole bunch of signature moves, and I would just try to remember the moves. And then I was like, no, I need to work more on my musicality. And then it was like, no, I can't be doing these signature moves all the time. Like I need to surprise myself. And I would chop moves in half and try to like freestyle and make up stuff on the spot. So it depends on what era. Right now, like I don't try to think of anything. I figured out about 10 years ago, I had this experience where I'm like, I really started training and I wanted to get like super strong. And I'm like, okay, I want to be like a really hard popper because I've seen what incredible popping look like, you know, like you see Robot Prince, you understand exactly how hard your dimes have to be. So I have this, I go into this mentality that I'm going to try to do the hardest solo ever. And I'm dancing, and in my mind, it's working. It's happening. I'm thinking, and I'm hearing the crowd cheese, and I'm like, okay, I'm good, right? And I'm like, I can't wait to see this footage. And then I look at the footage, and then it wasn't at all like I had thought I did. But I had convinced myself that what I was doing, but it just didn't happen to coincide with reality.
I feel you.
So I was like, So the next time I did a big solo at some event, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to make the same mistake, Ty. I'm just going to try to be relaxed and cool about it. I'm just going to go easy on this one. And then I look back at the footage, and that looked like some of the hardest stuff I ever did. So I'm telling myself, okay, so I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like, because what I'm telling myself is going to happen isn't necessarily happening. So
ain't that crazy?
I just said,
it.
Okay, I'm going to just try to be present, you know, and give my thanks to God and just allow myself to be vulnerable and see what happens. And I touch the ground and I give thanks and I see what happens now. So now that's what I tried. I try to not think. And what happens is I wind up doing things I never saw before. So when I look back at my footage, I can surprise myself instead of doing all the things I know how to do that isn't so fun to me, you know what I mean? Because I'm battling the 20-year-old me.
Yeah.
So I know I'm not as flexible at that way or this, but maybe I could do more. So I'm tripping on something completely different. I'm like, okay, if I have to face me, what would I do against me? So that's what I'm thinking. I'm not really,
Dope concept. I love that. I love that. Hey man, you know, a lot of us in this game have someone that we look up to, a sensei, a
Mm,
master. Do
mm.
you have one?
I have a few. So, and they're masters at different things. So again, God rest dead. Mr. Melvin McCullough, Mr. Fantastic from the Bay Area, was an incredible dancer. He was much younger than me, but the way he went into how heavy he was thinking about stuff, concepts. I'm gonna do a gummy back. I'm gonna do an animated cobra and wave my stomach at the same time and glide in a circle. So from every angle, somebody will be able to see a different effect. I was like, I
Whoa.
wasn't thinking like that. This guy was like, eh. And so I'm like, okay.
What was his name again?
And his name is Melvin McCullough,
Rest in
and
peace.
they call him, rest in peace, Melvin
Mr.
McCullough, Mr. Fantastic.
1, 2, funk, 3, funk, 4, funk, 5 seconds of funk.
Yeah,
Right on.
Mr. Fantastic was no joke, and this was a battle person of all. So he battled Victor. He battled Boogaloo Shrimp. He's lots of people in the Bay had like some special waving skills, and so
Yeah.
I come from these people. Like some of my shoulder waves that I do that I incorporate come from a person by the name of Tony Anthony, a guy from San Francisco. They call him Boneless.
Woo.
And he's the one that showed me these
Uh-oh.
waves, like and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. And so from the shoulder waves in this isolation, I'm like, that's where I'm getting that from. From some of my ground moves and some of my concepts and how I put some of my stuff together. Some of it is Melvin McCullough. Some of it is one of the most incredible movers I'd seen, a guy named Baby Rob, that was like doing hydraulics and W's and doing the most
And where was he from?
crazy. I'm not sure where he was from, but I met him in Berkeley,
Okay.
and this guy was just different. And uh, my friends from Sacramento, uh, Toy Master, Diamond D. So some of my friends that were in the Master City Breakers crew from the Bay Area, they had
Diamond
they used to
D.
live. He's a dancing Diamond D,
Okay.
not the producer Diamond D from
You're right.
New York, and his name is Derek Tabayan,
Okay.
and they showed me how to sack.
What's that?
So, well, it's a way of moving that has a lot of very specific footwork in it that looks very unusual. It reminds me a lot of what I see the Jookers and the Jitters do from DC, like a lot of that, like the footwork, and a lot of what I see people trying to sea walk do with their feet and stuff. A lot of like little tricky footsteps and stuff.
Yeah.
But they were doing that. They were doing that with their popping since way back, and so God rest the dead. Skeeter Rabbit had a book of styles and stuff that he showed, and he said that this is sacking, and people thought that footwork was sacking, but that's not the real sack. That's like it's a certain kind of hit, and it's a certain kind of some tricky footwork. So I thank them for showing me this kind of footwork that I incorporate in my thing. So I was thinking I was good with my waves, and I'm like, okay, but if these people come at me with footwork, I have to have my footwork together. So then I focused on that. Then when I got my footwork together and big moves, when I would battle people, I noticed that sometimes they try to crowd me in, so I wouldn't be able to get the full distance of my move. So then I started doing things that are like exactly in place, and that's like how I started developing my twister flexes, because it didn't take so much space. And I was like, so I was thinking like high, low. Okay, if I'm on gravel, if I'm on something slippery, if I, like these kung fu movies, all surfaces, all conditions, I had some moves ready to go. So that's how I was thinking. So a lot of these people were my mentors.
Man, I give you
Like,
credit. I mean, I give you props for giving credit to those, man, and stating that, hey, that you grab some things from some other people, man, and
oh yeah, yeah, of
you're
course,
giving them their credit. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
That's dope.
This is and there's another person from the Bay. So as I was coming up, remember I'm BMX Damon, so people give me a pass because I'm BMX Damon.
Okay.
So I don't think they see like how obsessive I am about
Oh,
getting
okay.
into stuff. So but no, but it's cool. And one of the persons that was nice enough to speak to me and to show me stuff was Verndell from UFO Encounters from Berkeley,
Okay.
legendary crew. So like some of the footwork that he did, he had something called the Pac-Man walk that kind of goes like this
Yeah.
with your feet. That's very similar to the wiggle walk that Mr. Wiggles does.
Right.
Um, and so, but he took the time to show me this, and people. There was a community of, of people that wanted you to be better from Berkeley, and they would want you to represent Berkeley. So there was, even though people are doing the Fillmore in San Francisco, people from Berkeley wouldn't Fillmore because that's what they do in the Fillmore district. That's their thing.
Right. I get
People in
that.
Richmond had that. So a lot of these styles weren't really crossing. People
Okay.
in San Jose, like the Playboys, I don't remember them doing the Fillmore back then. They were dancing different. So it took a long time for things to become all good,
Yeah.
because people was very,
Yeah.
this is our thing, who are you, and that,
Right.
So yeah, and shout out to King Tech. So the Swain Tech show.
Yeah.
So King Tech, he was a popper,
Is he?
and Izzy, he was one of those cats, man.
King Tech,
So
you gotta come on Pop Lock Talk. We didn't know
listen,
that, homie.
he used to go by the name Wizard, and he was also one of the San Francisco Ballet Breakers, like myself,
Yeah.
that auditioned and yeah, we got down plenty of time. That guy was a real head about it.
Man.
He'd go in and talent shows, contests. This guy was serious. So a lot of people, I was so happy when I saw him on the radio show, but people don't know about the dance side of his life. He was deep.
Man, I didn't know that, man. I'm learning
Deep.
so much. I'm finding so much out from you, man,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it. And I'm learning more about you. I heard so much about you, man, and I'm enjoying your story. But hey, I got a question for you, and if you don't know the answer to this, there's no pressure.
Okay.
But I just want to see. It'll be interesting to hear your answer. But here's my question, man. What dance crew from the Bay Area started boogaloo?
Don't know. But I'll tell you when I first saw it.
Okay.
So when I first saw it, and I was trying to do this, was in Berkeley when I'm in 4th grade.
Now let's calculate that year.
So I'm around, this is
8 years
around
old?
19, yeah.
So what year would that
No,
be?
no, 9ish, right? So I go to an elementary school called Columbus in Berkeley on 7th Street, right below San Pablo. And already then, all of us kids were trying to do it. So when I think about it, this lets me know that there was already adults that were very good at it,
Right.
for it to have trickled down to kids in 4th grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so this is like, so I said I'm born 1965. So this predates me ever hearing the word boogaloo. This predates, I remember when the word, but now people say there, I've seen it written on flyers that they said that there's Oakland Boogaloos, but I never called it Boogaloo. And I remember when this name came to Berkeley, and I thought to myself, that's an odd name, a Boogaloo. Like, what is it like?
You hear
If
that
you
for the
didn't
first
know what
time,
that
yeah.
was, yeah, and I'm like, this, and we called it a bunch of different other things. You get down, you move, you strut, you step, you bust. Can you bust? And they were calling all matter of things, but I hadn't heard this word. And then one day, because you know how Soul Train is, that's a religious experience. Soul Train Saturday, Soul Train is on, and what happens on the last 15 minutes? That's when they go down the line, right?
Soul Train line.
So, right. So I know that there was a song that was like kind of corny. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, and I'm going to get a sandwich, and I'll be back in time for the Soul Train line. And my grandmother goes, Damon, they doing that dance. And I come out and I rush to the front, and then I see the EBs, and I see the sexy dancer get down on, and this just blows my mind. I'm like, oh my God. It was the most incredible thing I'd seen. And so from that day on, I was like, okay, I don't mind calling myself a boogaloo now. And now this name is becoming solidified in the Bay as the term for this thing.
Mhm.
And so, but to answer your question, the first time I saw it, let me know that there was adults doing this long before I had the pleasure of seeing the Fresno books, the EBs, and I love them, by the way, love them. But the thing that I've been trying to do, this was long before I'd seen any of that, so that wasn't the first I had seen of it. So who was the first crew in the Bay Area to do it? It was before my time. I was a little kid. You know what I mean? They couldn't. We couldn't. Imagine some little kid like going out after like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the night. That's not. That's not happening. Your parents aren't letting you out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wish I had the answer to that question. I've seen a lot of dates and a lot of history that makes a lot of sense to me, because when I see some of the earlier Bay Area crews, some of the ways they were moving, I'm like, that's how I was trying to move in the 4th grade. Like, I recognized that.
Right.
But who was the first? One of the first crews I saw weren't one of the first people in the Bay to do it. So one of the first crews I saw was some of Demons of the Mind at my junior high school.
Okay. All right. Right on. I'll go for that. Hey, check this out. I need you to do something for me, man.
Mhm.
I need you to do me a favor, so I don't
Okay.
catch no heat. Okay.
Okay.
Mike Tron and them, well, he got a passion for this dance, man. Mike is
He's
crazy
about
about
it,
that.
man.
So what I need for you to do, man, is you have a lot of people that look up to you and they admire you, and you're their sensei. What is it that you think they want you to tell the world about this dance? What is it that they want you
That's an
to
excellent
express?
question.
Because it comes from them is one thing, but they want you to back the story up. What is it that you think is the main thing that they want you to express right here on Pop Lock Talk?
I would say, um, uh, one of the a gift that I have is I can see the good in everybody. And some people's, their styles aren't so developed. And I can relate to me having a style that wasn't so developed. And some people were good enough to encourage me, like, no, you got a certain thing that you do that's a little bit different. And I couldn't believe it because I didn't want to allow myself to like myself in this way. I wanted to be humble. I didn't want to I didn't see myself in that position of being a great. You know what I mean? I grew up watching James Brown, and that's a superhuman being. I grew up watching, the Jackson 5, and those are superhuman beings. So I feel really meager. I don't measure myself on those kind of levels at all. And people started to put me in a position for my uniqueness. And I started to understand that there's something in all of us that is unique onto each and every one of us, that if you go and dip from that pool, you will reach your full potential. But it's got to be from your pool. So I think what people want to hear me say is that some of the foundations that people are talking about, steps and certain things that you do for certain reasons, I am not so sure that some coordination is the foundation. I think the foundation is the spirit of this thing that is deep within you that get amplified when you hear specific music. Like the way we're talking about funk music, people that don't have a relationship to funk music, they won't understand the spiritual thing that happens when you can be in a situation and you don't know what you did, and you can watch clips of yourself and you could be better than you knew you had the potential.
It's called
zoning
out.
That's what the foundation is. It's not some specific technique from some date, from this area. That's not what the foundation is.
Bringing it from your soul, man.
And everybody that taps in and does that, these are all the greats that we revere today. All of them. When I look at Jazzy, the early footage of Jazzy J, oh my God. Pete, he was doing him. He wasn't boogalooing like Sam. I love Sam. But Pete is doing Pete. He's been doing something different the whole time. Ruben, Flat Top. He's not taking a page out of other people's books, man. He's doing him. His body can do this, and he's doing it, and he's on his. To me, he's like one of these cats on the mountaintop. He's like that kung fu practitioner on the mountaintop. To me, all the people who I look up to are completely unique individuals. Same with Taco. Dude, people don't move like that. So that's my message.
So at the end of the day, don't dance to perform. Dance to the soul of the music. Dance from your heart.
And here's another thing. A lot of people play the control game and try to be very control, but that's not the. If you've seen people catch the Holy Ghost in the church, you want to play with some of that. You want to get outside yourself. You don't want to be in control. You want to go off.
That's right.
You want to, So that's one thing I really appreciate about the krump dancers. The fact, what they call getting buck, that thing, that's what you tap into.
Yeah.
Because we have superhero qualities and strength within us all.
Yeah. Mr. Damon Frost, man, I want to thank you for your time and your
Thank you for having me, man.
I appreciate the fact that, you did this at an hour that's probably struggling for most at this time of the hour. Some of us just getting in bed at that time, So, man, your time is appreciated. Love talking to you, man.
You too, man. Thank you. I'll come with a better hat the next time. You can't get away with that hat, man.
Right on, man. Hey, let's keep in touch, and we're going to have a round 2 because I'm not going to forget you got to blow something. You got to sing.
That's not going to happen, but I'll play you some music.
Hey,
you can have some of this.
Before you leave, you got to throw me a wave. You got to throw a wave to me.
Okay. How you want it?
It don't matter. Just throw it to me. I'm going to catch it.
Okay. I'll go from this way. I go like this.
Oh!
Hey! Oh, bounce on him!
David Frost, Pop Lock love to you. Thanks for coming on Pop Lock Talk, homie. You the bomb.
Thanks for having me, bro. Bless you, man.
Yeah, what's Pop Locking, y'all? If you have not subscribed to Cool Boys Boxing Camp and Dance Academy, man, push that button. Come on, push that button and subscribe. That way we may be able to send you an email and bring you on our show, Pop Lock Talk. This show, man, is, to let everybody know that, you got the rap industry, you got the hip-hop industry, you got the acting industry. Well, there's a such thing now as the pop lock industry. And this is where we talk about it right here. Cool Boys Boxing Camp and Dance Academy. Booyah!